Hi guys, this is the third video where I answer the question of can we really trust the Bible? And this is going to be a very interesting video because we're going to talk about the archaeological proof that shows us that the Bible is true and that you can trust it. Let's get to it. Now just very quick, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And also click that notification bell so you won't miss the next videos. Alright, now there are many examples of archaeological proof that shows us that the Bible is true. But I'm not going to talk about all of them because it's just going to be too many. So I'm just going to mention a few. So let's start with the first one. The Pilate stone. Now, a lot of people say that Pontius Pilate, that's the guy who gave the ruling on the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. They basically said he never existed. But then they discovered the Pilate stone in 1961. It is a damaged stone block that mentions Pontius Pilate, a prefect of the Roman province of Judea, from 26 after Christ to 36 after Christ. Now, how awesome is that? Hebron, the ancient city of David. Now, we read in Samuel that Hebron was the city that David occupied, and he was the king over it for 7.5 years. So some people say that the ancient city of Hebron never existed because, well, no evidence was ever found. But then, in 1960, archaeologists found the ancient city of Hebron, and they proved that the Bible was right. The inscriptions of the kings of Syria, Assyria, Egypt, and Babylonia confirms the writings of the Old Testament. For example, skeptics said that there is no such king as Belteshazzar, if that's how you pronounce it. But it is written in the book of Daniel, and skeptics said, well, there's no such king. And there's only proof that there was only a king that was called Nabonidus at that time. Well, in 1854, they found a small cylinder that King Nabonidus himself wrote. And he said, "As for me, Nabonidus, king of Babylon, save me from sinning against your great Godhead, and grant me as a present a lifelong of days. And as for Belteshazzar, the eldest son of my offspring, instill reverence for your great Godhead in his heart, and may he not commit any cultic mistake. May he be sated with a life of plenitude." So they found out that Nabonidus was actually Belteshazzar's father. And Belteshazzar would then rule as king when his father Nabonidus was away with his army. And that is why he was king at the time. The David inscriptions. Now, there was a lot of people who said the David of the Bible never existed. It's just a nice story. But then, like always, in 1993 they discovered an interesting stone that said, "An Israel king from the house of David." And we know that the Bible talks this way because we read in 1 Kings 12, so Israel has been in rebellion against the house of David to this day. So again, the David stone proved the accuracy of the Bible. The Nazareth house. Now, every time when I mention skeptics say this or skeptics say that of the Bible is not true, you probably wonder, what skeptics? Well, let me mention someone with this example. In 2008, a skeptic named Rene Somm wrote a whole book claiming that he destroyed Christianity once and for all. The name of the book is called The Myth of Nazareth. Now, he basically said that Jesus did not exist because there is no such town as Nazareth in the 1st century. Well, we all know that Jesus existed because there is just so much evidence about it, even from non-biblical writers. But anyway, in 2008, Rene brought out his book. And then, in 2009, archaeologists found a small house in Nazareth that dated to the 1st century. So they proved that the Bible is right. If he only waited 1 year. The Pool of Siloam. Now we read in John 9 verse 7 where Jesus talked to a blind man and he said, "Go wash in the pool of Siloam." So he went and washed and came back and were able to see again. Now I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here and explain what all the skeptics said, but again, in 2004 they discovered it in an area called the City of David. The Hittite tablets. A lot of skeptics always say that the Bible always mentions people and places that never existed. But time and time again, new archaeological discoveries prove them wrong and the Bible right. Like the Hittite tablets. Skeptics said that the Hittites never existed. But in 1906, they found 10,000 clay tablets in Turkey. And these tablets documented the history of the Hittites. And it is interesting that where they discovered these tablets, they realized that this was actually the capital of the whole Hittite nation, and it's called Baghes-Koi. Now this proves the Bible's accuracy in Joshua 11 verse 3, where it mentions the Hittite nation thousands of years before we discovered it. Now the Bible is not just an ordinary book, it is the most historically accurate book in the whole world. And there are a lot more archaeological discoveries that I can share with you, but I think it's enough for now. I think you get it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done yet so you won't miss the next video. I love you, God bless you, and we'll speak soon. Bye. Because we're going to talk about the archaeology. Don't argue with me. Archaeology. What? Arkeologie. Ach, mijn moeder, hier gaan we like
Take my life and let it be consecrated, Lord, to Thee.